Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark. Now, let me let me set the scene here, okay? It is 8:30 on a Friday night.
We don't usually record on Fridays. We record on the weekends when we are at least when I am much more well rested. I am tired and cranky on a Friday night. Okay,
This is going to be a great episode.
I had a very optimistic topic. I mean, I thought so. I was going off the deep end a little bit with it, and I could tell that Mark was getting a little antsy.
Hang on. Let's back up for a
But
second. It's 8:30 and we've been out here probably for an hour already.
no, that's an exaggeration.
That's in a
like
little
40
bit.
minutes.
Maybe 40 minutes. But we've already tried to record an episode. We were probably about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes in. And then we had a little bit of an issue that I think that's what this episode's going to be about. So we'll save the other topic for later. But the issue was an interesting one. So I think this episode is just going to be about recounting the last hour of our life. And I think it's going to be important. So go ahead. Continue. No? Not feeling it?
No, I thought you were going to tell it.
Oh, okay. Well, we started and we were going and we're talking about, we could probably say the topic, right? Or no? Yeah, we were talking about putting yourself first, and which is a very important topic, but we were talking about it, and I kind of gave my spiel a little bit. Amanda was talking about hers, upbeat, everything like normal, and I just got to the point where I was listening to Amanda talk, and all I could hear was like. It was bad. I was just, I couldn't do it. And it's basically my fault for thinking like that because, I don't know. It was a weird time.
Is that it? Okay. So, our time as podcasters, was that the term? Podcasters, sure. We've only gotten one comment ever on YouTube, and it was about how I said like too much. And it was like, if you want to make it in the business world, then you can't say like that much, da da da. It was like really like not nice. Okay. Now, I do know that I say like a lot, and I think the reason I was saying it even more, this might be wrong, but Mark looked like he like didn't know what I was saying or something. So I feel like I'm like, "Oh, I need to be like this, like that, like this." Like I just put like into my vocabulary. I don't know, it just comes out. I cannot help it. Like maybe I should work on it. Obviously, maybe I should work on it, but it's hard for me to think about not saying like, because then I can't even like think about what I'm trying to say. The whole time I'm just trying not to say like, and then I get lost in my mind of like not saying like when I'm just trying to talk. And I want to be my authentic self, but at the same time, like I know where you're coming from, like what you mean when someone is saying like too much. So, Mark stopped and told me that he couldn't talk to me. He just needed a minute. And I was so mad that he was trying to pause it because I thought he just thought I was going off topic. And I was like, I'm right about to say what I wanted to say. I was about to be on topic. Like I was about to get to the point. And he paused it and he's like, you're just saying like too much. And I can't even like, I don't know what he said. And at first I was like, okay. So then I tried, and then like we put the headphones on and we tried to record again, but I just couldn't. Because then I'm like, what if I say like too much? What if, or like I'm like almost insecure, like I have to think about how I'm not saying like. And I just don't like that. I get like it's something I should work on, but it's also like hard to think about not saying it. I don't know, it's different when we're having conversations in like reality. But I guess it's like, I mean, I guess I should take this as reality and just talk. And then it's silly for me to feel insecure about saying like too much in front of you. But then he said he wanted to kill himself because I was saying like too much. So I just,
Maybe an
that,
exaggeration.
yeah, I know he's an exaggerating, but to me, when you're like in a relationship with someone and they say they want to kill themselves when you were talking, it just sounds very rude and like obviously it's upsetting.
I I don't know. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to say. Do you, I tried to be pragmatic during the break.
Well, you have to say something. It was your idea to record this about this, so if you say nothing, then I don't know what to say to that.
When I started recording myself, I was the same way. I used to say, you know what I mean? Like a lot more than I do now. And I feel that I have been able to progressively get better. Most of the time, still not perfect by any means. Just by slowing down, thinking about what I'm saying, and trying to just say it rather than get all hubbubbed. And I don't know the reason. I think it's ingrained within you just because you've always been saying it. And it's not a big deal, but it is absolutely objectively distracting. So like the gentleman that commented, I probably would have framed it a little differently, but I don't necessarily disagree with it. Do you have to do anything? No, not at all. Should I have stopped? Should I have told you that in the middle of the episode? Obviously not, because we wouldn't be here right now. But I don't, at this point right here, I know that it did not make you feel good, and you said that you were insecure about it. So I'm not sure what to do next. I don't know if the answer is to tell you you should work on it or you should not give a fuck about it. I think it's ultimately your decision. And it doesn't matter one way or another. It's a fucking word. But all I know is the one thing that I'll say is during the break, you said, I don't want to change anything about myself. And I totally get that. But at the same time, you have. That was a little weird thing to hear you say. That didn't really sound like the person you are now. Because, for instance, we've talked about it a lot on the show. You didn't used to work out. And then you're like, well, I think that's, I'd like to be a little better in that area, or I'd like to change in that area. And then you did that. So it's not about changing yourself. It's about, like you said, getting better. So I don't know. I also say I don't know a lot. But, and so, I say so a lot too. This is obviously somewhat of a bigger deal, though, because you were crying because of me talking about that.
I think it's because of the comment.
Yeah.
It was very like mean. It was very like mean. It was very mean. I don't remember what it said exactly. It was just very mean. They could have said it in a nicer way, you know?
Yeah.
They definitely could have said it in a nicer way. And now I understand. Literally, we had one comment. And now I understand where people are like, oh, like trolls and stuff. Like, because immediately when I saw it, like, we were like laughing about it and it didn't bother me that much. And I watched it back and I did say like an extremely amount of time, like saying it right now, more than I ever thought I would be saying it, because I don't realize it when I'm saying it. But like the way it was, like,
It's bad. I, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I mean, I can try. I should try to fix it. Okay. When I said I didn't want to change anything about myself, because like I want to be me, obviously, and I said I just say it and it comes out. That's what I mean when I don't want to change anything about myself. I could try and work on it. Yes, and I probably should. Because as much as I don't want to change anything about myself or whatever, if this is what we do, I should probably speak properly.
I wouldn't say properly.
Not properly, but you know what I mean. Speak. Well, what is there like a?
I simply mean that my position on it's a little distracting. Because
well,
it's just one of those things where you just constantly think about it. As a listener, you just constantly hear it. Especially when you tune into it.
I don't know if you recall the one episode we had. I said that I do that because of ADD, and then that was a big episode as well, where you were like, it's not ADD, or you don't really think I have ADD, and it was like a big thing.
I'm not even gonna go there.
No, we don't. We don't need to go there. And I'm not saying I have ADD, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like I go all over the place when I talk. Sometimes it just comes out. I mean, I can work on it. You were saying something else, though. I don't remember.
One thing I think is important to note for us and for anybody out there that's looking to do something where you put out content to the public is that we got basically that one comment so far, right? And it was I would say a constructive criticism. I don't think they were doing it to be extremely mean, but they could have said it like you put. Could have been said nicer, right?
Yeah.
Could have been much worse too, though.
Yeah.
Could have said, "Mark, your fucking nose is huge," or something like that. Just specifically something you can't change.
Yeah, that's something else you have to.
Is my nose big?
Yeah.
It is big.
We both have big noses.
Is it big? That's one thing I don't give a shit about, like my nose. What?
I guess we also have to put into context that, like, people comment stuff and, like, they don't really care about what they say.
And they're faceless, yeah.
Or, like, how it would hurt somebody's feelings. And, like, it didn't hurt my feelings at first. But then when you comment on it, I'm like, oh, my God. Because, like I said, they said something about how when you say, if you want to make it in the business world, you can't say like that much. There was, like, more details. It was just very, like, it was very rude. Like, there was more, like, rude details around it. But it was, like, something about making it in the business world. You won't make it when you say like that much, and da-da-da. Oh, it was, like, I think they said immature. It's very immature and very da-da-da-da. It was...
I looked it up. I did the research. It's called being a valley girl. Back in the 90s. Like, totes my goats, dude. All that sort of stuff. I don't know. But I don't know if I would say it's immature. I would just say it's...
Well, you come off as immature,
something's
I guess.
Kind of ingrained within you. I think that one of the reasons it might happen is because you're saying like, and then you're trying to find a word, and ultimately those words are just simple, like, adjectives, you know. So like you said, like rude or something. I don't know.
I just feel like we can't all speak like I feel like not all people speak like that. Like professional speakers or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I should. Mark recommended me to watch myself speak more, and I was like, no. But maybe I should because I think it would be helpful to actually see it for myself. And I guess I have had like people say it to me, like maybe my Aunt Winnie would make little jokes like when I would talk. And like I always just brushed it off when people would say
Where
it.
do you think it came from?
Where do I think it came from? Do you think Lauren does it? Because I feel like she probably does.
Probably, yeah.
I feel
But
like
I don't think it's from one person per se.
I don't know. I feel like I've always done it. I I at least have had people comment on it since like I remember like high school. You know, like my Aunt Winnie just being like when I would talk. Not like all the time. It's not like people would comment on it all the time, you know, but like I've had it. I've
It's almost like an accent.
I've heard it before. Yeah, and I don't realize I'm even doing it. I do not realize it at all. So I think that's why I was like so taken back by you being like, I can't even hear what you're saying. You're just saying like too much. I think that's why I was so taken back because I didn't even realize it was coming out of my mouth that much. Like I'm sure I knew I was saying it, but I didn't realize it. So I guess that's why it's hard for me or why I feel insecure about it. And I want to say, like, I know this sounds dramatic, but I feel like everyone has these little things in their life that is, you know, just. Mark and I like to talk about things. This is why we're here. And I doubt it sounds silly to anyone, but if it sounds silly, I know it's a silly thing, whatever, but I don't know. I just feel like it's important to talk about. And we would have had this conversation with or without the microphones. So we decided to
Probably good that we had with the microphones.
record it. I think there are a lot of conversations we have off the air that should be on the air because they're like very just breakthrough conversations.
If you're insecure about something, are you supposed to change it?
I guess I don't know. I never really thought about this deep before until today.
Yeah.
I guess it was, you know, that guy made the comment. I'm like, yeah, I say like too much. Okay. Moving on. I think maybe I tried to stop saying it a little bit after that. But, you know, I'm just being me. So I just continued. And then Mark said it today. So I don't know.
Do you want to stop saying it as much?
I mean, I would like to try, I guess.
What do you think we could do?
We could do.
We're a team.
I don't know what we could do. In general life, I don't know. I guess, like you said before, thinking about what I'm saying before I say it, da da da. I guess it's just hard for me because I'm very me. I I guess you can say I have no filter. Things just come out of my mouth. Um and like I like it that way because I feel like that's me and I'm real. I guess I guess it's good to think before you say stuff, but like it's also to be real. Am I doing it? Why are you smiling?
I was smiling because that one, that's like that's, I remember something kind of related to what the one line you just said about um, thinking before you talk.
Mhm.
Do you remember the line? Do you remember where that's from? I think that was like, I think that was one of the only things that your grandmother said about me because I didn't know her for very long.
Oh, she said that. Oh, yeah, she did say
I
that.
remember that fondly. There's a weird thing. I'd never heard anybody say that, and Amanda's grandmother said that about me. Probably one of the. I only
Yeah,
met her. Maybe I was only
I knew it.
associated with her like
I
three
knew it like
times.
sounded familiar when you said that. She said, I wish I remembered what she said. I should have like wrote this shit down. She said that you speak very well, that you think before you talk. And you do. I feel like it's like an episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob's brain processes like the information and then it like comes out of your
Mhm.
mouth. You because you speak very like I personally I always feel like people tell me that I interrupt them, that I talk over them. I was on FaceTime with my friends Savannah, Abby, and Lindsay, which it was FaceTime, so it was obviously hard to hear. I couldn't hear when Abby was talking when I was talking because it's like weird. But I've found this in other conversations. People tell me that I'm talking over them, but I feel like I don't have a chance to speak. I feel like people just keep talking. Like say for example, just like my mom, Mo, and like my grandma. Okay, my grandma's not here, but whatever. My grandma would talk a lot, and so would my mom. They would all just keep talking. This would happen often with my mom and my grandma because they would all both just my mom and my grandma would just keep talking back and forth. And I would always get yelled at for talking over them, but I feel like I would never have a chance to speak. Or I would start talking and then they would go off about something else. I'm just like, can I finish what I'm like saying? I don't know. That's that's definitely a common theme I feel like in my life. People say I am talking over them, but I feel like I'm just trying to talk. I don't know. Not like all the time, but there's definitely been a handful of occasions. It's weird.
Do you do you like listening?
Yeah.
You do? Are you an active listener?
Yeah. I like to think so. I don't want to and then I let them talk. I don't want it to be like, "Oh, I want to just keep talking about myself or about me." I definitely try to listen. I mean, I do listen to other people and like to hear their side of things. I just think I also feel like it's like when I use my mom and my grandma as an example, they talk a lot. I don't know, it's just weird. They would talk a lot, about stuff and then I don't know. I don't mean to interrupt people, but apparently I interrupt people all the time. I don't know. I do. I mean, I have. Um, I think my mom and Mo used to always say I would interrupt them when they were talking. So I have been, I guess you can say, I would say over the past couple years, actively like waiting until they're done talking before I talk. Um, I still do it sometimes though. I don't know. It's just interesting.
Hmm.
Have you ever been told that you talk over someone?
I mean, I have terrible memory, but not. I don't think so.
It's just interesting. Well, sometimes I feel like I need to get all of my words out and all my stuff out because then they'll be talking and they'll go on to another like topic and then they'll just be like over. This is so weird. I've never like talked about this before.
Just trying to understand the situation,
I don't know. It's interesting.
how that actually works. I understand you got 4 people around a campfire or something, and people are exchanging stories and opinions.
Sometimes it's just hard to.
But I don't know. I don't think I can't think of it. I can't think of a time where there's just no silence to butt into. But maybe I haven't been around
I
people
just
that are
feel
just constantly talking.
I'm not saying it happened all the time. Like my friends and family, they let me talk. Trust me, I talk. I just my point was a lot of the times when people would say that I'm butting in, not with like the FaceTime with Savannah, Abby, and Lindsay. That was like more of like it was FaceTime. I couldn't hear that people were trying to talk. It was like my friends, with like my parents, I guess, or like my mom and my grandma. I would be like, can I get a chance to talk? I mean, then sometimes I'm just like, can I get a chance to talk? Sometimes it's just how the talking is, you know. People are talking and I don't know.
So, wait a second. Do you think that
Or
that was interrupting? Just kidding.
I guess maybe I just want to get all my words out before shoot.
Mm. Mhm. Do you think
I think I want to get all my words out before you have the chance to like say something and me not
mm-hmm.
when yeah,
you need to fill all the silence? Mm-hmm.
What?
You need to fill all the silence.
Yeah, because then
You can't.
you'll interrupt me.
That's it. That's the breakthrough right there.
Then you'll interrupt me.
I won't interrupt you.
And then you
No,
will.
think about this. Think about this. You would have interrupted me right there. And right there, if I didn't sound like I was going to continue to say important things.
Hmm.
Sometimes silence is powerful. Like right there. Do you not think so? This isn't an overnight fucking thing, okay?
That's interesting.
This is why I said I didn't explain it right. I'm glad we got to this point. This has been very great.
So you're saying I keep saying like you like don't think.
I think there's a lot of reasons that you say like, but I think one of them might be that because of what you just said, you
Yeah.
articulated that you don't feel that you had the time of day to speak. You didn't feel like you had the time. You had to fight for it. So once you had it,
Yeah.
you're like, fuck this. I'm going to talk and I'm going to talk and I'm going to talk. Like I'm going to fill if I have 5 minutes to talk, I'm going to fill every fucking second because I only get this much time psychologically, right? That makes sense, right? We're deducing that. So you feel that the more words you get in,
Wow.
everyone does it.
No,
I don't think there's anyone that's not guilty of this.
No, I'm just having like a realization. Sometimes I still do that. I guess. Like talking to someone.
I think there's more reasons, but
When
that's
I'm
one.
talking to someone and they seem distracted, like they're not listening to me, I feel like I need to keep going and keep talking. But then I'm like, yeah, like we went to the Olive Garden and then I went and got this soup and it was really good. And then blah, blah, blah. And then they're like not listening, but I feel like I need to keep maybe like saying words or just describing so that I can get them to listen to me.
I think it's a pretty subconscious thing. Yes. I think that's one big part of it.
Wow.
Yeah. There could be more. Again, I think that as a young teenage girl, there is that Valley Girl shit. You'd have to look it up. It's California. It made its way
I feel
over.
like it's very common for young girls to say like. I know a lot of people say teenage girls say like, but you know, I was a teenage girl not that long ago, and I think it's just carried with me. And
there's one other thing that I think can help, and I have been doing it, again, sort of subconsciously, is simply expanding the amount of words that you know. I don't mean reading a dictionary, but when
Mark
you
knows
have
all these crazy
no, I
words.
don't. I don't, seriously. When you have more of a vocabulary, you never have to search for things. You don't have to search for words. It's not even about knowing words, it's about understanding how to articulate things. And I'm literally below average. I say literally and that I do that too much. But that's what I mean, is when you can slow down, you can breathe, you can talk with a little bit of inflection, so it kind of fills that space without actually having words in there, and then the silence becomes more powerful. And I don't know any of this. I just kind of picked this up. I didn't fucking take any courses or anything. I think that's where you start to get a little bit out of that zone a little bit, and you start to get, I'm not saying it's better or worse necessarily. I'm just saying it's a little more engaging to hear talking in that manner rather than in boom, 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 like this, like not criticizing. Just think it's trying to move forward in a way. But I'm happy that we went through all that exercise there, because I think that was very helpful. I think that it was interesting to deduce all of that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I think you've already started to do better just in this 30 minutes.
Because I've been thinking about it the whole time. It's what the episode's about.
Well, I'll tell you this. A lot of adulthood is kind of like unlearning and relearning things that you learned to get there. That's what I read. So, you good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been an interesting one. It's been fun. No?
Yeah.
Man is not happy.
No, I'm happy. I'm just tired and it's a lot later than we anticipated it being after recording, but that's all right. Gotta keep grinding, gotta keep doing, gotta keep moving, you know.
At least you don't have to work tomorrow.
Listen, I know you work from home, but you get to stay home Monday through Friday. You don't have to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
That is a blessing.
Fuck you.
Oh well. Look, guys, we appreciate it. If you sat through this one and you learned with us and you had fun, we greatly appreciate it. This was a little different, obviously, than usual. It's a different day, though. I still think it was an important conversation to have, though. And I'm happy about the breakthrough that we had. Because I think not just with this situation, but with a lot of other situations, whether it's we don't have too many things where we have to, like, actually break down what happened between us. I don't think. There's not too many times where we have to there's not too many times where Amanda and I have to go back and completely unravel what happened in an event. But that was pretty cool to see that. And it was good to record it, I think, as well, just to document. So if you didn't like it, sorry. If you did, great. But regardless, it's announcement time because we have amandpmpodcast.com/shop. Go check out some merch. I just updated the website. So there's links in the description, but if you just go to amandpmpodcast.com, it looks a little different. I actually put a little cart icon on the top header, And on the homepage, there's 2 new sections. One is Ask Us Anything. It's a button. You click it, and then you go to the form and you type a question in. We already got one. Shit. Should we answer it?
Oh yeah.
We already got it one. So maybe we have to put a segment in here somewhere. I don't know if we should put it in this one. Should we put it in this one? No. Next one?
Why'd you say no? Yes.
Yes?
We
Oh, we
have
should?
to answer it.
Oh, I didn't know we had to do the next one. Okay. We're going to answer the question. We have that. We have go to the website, aimandthepmpodcast.com. There's Ask Us Anything. There's merch. There's a merch section on the homepage as well as a full shop. And we're going to have, I talked about this in Fueled by Progress for all that. But for AM and the PM this year, we're going to have, I need to mention this real quick. We're going to have a lot more ways for listeners to support us. So for our audience, if you like what we're doing, there's going to be ways to directly support us this year. I haven't gotten to that yet, but we'll do that. And we would love to build like a little community somehow. I don't know how yet. I'm thinking of ways for FBP and AM and the PM to build a community. So it's either going to be within the website or like a Facebook group or something. I think it'd be cool. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. If you guys like that, make sure you like the video and tell us. But yeah. So, Ask Us Anything segment. What was the question? I know the question.
You go. I don't.
Okay. I believe I'm paraphrasing. What is the sexiest thing you guys like about each other?
Can you go first?
Sexiest? Does that need to be a
It's
body part or like a thing? What is? Can we
Sexiest thing.
define sexiest? Please?
Okay. I feel like what do we find the most attractive, I guess? I mean, obviously we think each other are sexy. Like I guess what do we find the most attractive?
Is that sexiest though?
Sexiest.
I don't know the definition.
You can give multiple answers. Whatever you think sexiest means. Okay, I'll answer first.
Okay.
I mean, obviously I think you're like good looking or whatever, but that's not really where I'm going. I think how attracted you are to me is like the sexiest thing to me because it's like, oh my God, you know?
That was very narcissistic. No, just kidding. It was a joke.
Oh my God. No,
It was
like
just like
you.
a back. It's like a kind of like a reversal.
Well, it's okay. No, like you really like appreciate me and like, you know, in the like sexy department, I guess. And it's like obviously like a turn on for me when you know, just really appreciate me, and it's like very attractive that you know, really think I'm like gorgeous and whatever, and you're like very attracted to me. I mean, that would be the sexiest. What was the question?
Sexiest thing about each other, pretty much.
About you, but also oh, I love when you wear your glasses. Like I always tell him that. He only wears his glasses when he drives and like
That's fucking weird.
Well, I remember when like I like fell in love with you, like we would be in the car at night because you'd be playing hockey and you'd be wearing your glasses singing to me. So it's like the glasses like they're like almost sentimental, like meaningful to me when you wear the glasses. It's like really and then obviously, you know, I think you're like really good looking and you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm obviously attracted to you, and you are good looking as well. If we're steering away from that though, because we want to like an actual thing, you know, rather than a physical or whatever, I would have to say that you've gotten more attractive, sexy, whatever word you want to put in there, especially this year. Like truthfully, with all the stuff that you've been doing, I have trouble with the fitness thing being like diligent. We've talked about this, and we should probably put like an episode at some point about like going to the gym frequently or consistently and doing those types of things. I love to play hockey, but if there's no like objective that I can really feel, like putting a ball in a net, it's difficult for me. The thing you said the other day was like, that was pretty ridiculous. Like, you said, who needs an accountability partner? I'm my own accountability partner. I really respect that. And if you want to, I would lump that in that category. Like, that is attractive to me. I think that is very impressive that you were able to go from nothing to, I'm just going to fucking do this myself. And I'm going to tell myself to do it. You're your own accountability partner. Like, you don't need anybody. So that's extremely attractive. And I would also say that, I don't know. I think it kind of goes back to almost like the love language type thing that we talked about the other day, is this idea now that you see yourself in one place and you just want to keep moving forward, whether that's in the gym, or fitness wise, or if it's with your CDA stuff and your career, or if it's with this business stuff, or if it's with your personal brand that we're getting together. You can't make progress every single day. Like, you're not going to make big breakthroughs every day on everything, but you've just started to seem that you've cared so much more about that. And I'm just very attracted to the idea that you are into the idea of actually building a life together and planning out things and putting in the effort now to make sure that our life is good later. Because I don't know. I think it's important. And I think that it's very hard to do that alone. So I'm very happy about that.
I knew you were going to say that when you started talking. But I've been thinking that a lot since you said that. And the accountability thing. But I just feel like, who's going to feel shitty? Like, today. This week I only worked out 4 days a week. I mean, I like the idea of accountability partner. My face. No. I'm just kidding. I feel like I'm not working out so that I can tell people I'm working out. Obviously, I talk about how I work out to people, but I'm not doing it. For example, I went to the gym like 3 times maybe, and I was like, wow, I didn't take a selfie in the mirror. Like, I'm not going there to take a selfie in the mirror or to tell people I'm working out and exercising. I'm doing it for me. So if I skip a day, and I feel shitty about it, like, I'm the one who's going to feel shitty about it. The idea of a accountability partner is good, I guess, in a way. But for me, I feel like if I, do the movement wrong, I'm going to be hard on myself about it. I'm going to be mad at myself. I'm going to yell at myself. And I have done that. Or whatever. You're doing it for you. So I feel like I said, there's nothing wrong with an accountability partner. But for me, I just can't. I just feel like you're the one who wants to do it. Like, I'll feel shitty on myself if I don't accomplish what I want to do,
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that.
Not a lot of people. There's people that don't.
And it's very interesting because I think, looking back, I probably did feel worse about myself, like my body, for example. Just because I didn't do a lot of movement or whatever, and I knew I was lazy, but I was, back then I didn't care as much, which, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with, being lazy, I guess you can say, because I used to be lazy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I was lazy, but you definitely see a difference, I guess. And I guess that's why, even back then, like, I knew it was my own fault that I didn't exercise. maybe I would get a little defensive, when you would mention exercise, but I knew like it was my accountability. I was accountable for not exercising, like
Yeah.
I'm sure it is good to have someone to exercise with. Like you and I know you like don't have like a workout plan, but you and I both want to be active. So I think it is good to have someone in your life like that. So like I guess when people say an accountability partner, it could be like their workout buddy or like just I've been seeing it a lot on Hit 30, this group I'm a part of, and they're just really inspirational people and they want to like hype each other up. And I think that's really awesome. I think it is good to have someone who's doing the same things as you. I can't imagine doing all this and then being in relationship with someone who is like on the couch. No. But yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning into this one. There's a lot going on. We answered our first question. That's fantastic. And we will be back at you next week with another fun topic. In the meantime, snag some merch and submit your questions, and we will update you with stuff about supporting and all that jazz. The last thing that I will say is one more New Year's resolution, if you will, 2021 goal. We'd like to put a lot more content out specifically on like shorter content. So these are like hour-long episodes. We want to put out smaller bits of content here and there, maybe on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, and including our second YouTube channel, AM and the PM Clips. Link in the description. Please go subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. Other than that, this has been another episode of AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark. We thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.